Hi, my loves. Happy new moon in Libra. This is an amazing new moon and one of the most aspected new moons that I think we've had in quite a long time. I'm excited to talk to you about it. I'm excited to be back here talking to you all, seeing you all again. I've missed you so much. This Mercury retrograde, we're still within it, by the way, but it has hit me pretty darn hard, and I've had some pretty tough stuff in life to navigate. So it's taken me longer to come back than I wanted to, but I have missed you all so much, and I appreciate so much your interaction. So many of you have checked up on me over the course of this time, which has meant the world to me. I love all of you guys. You're absolutely amazing. So it is good to be back. Thank you again for following this channel, for liking and subscribing. It all means so much to me. I'm hoping to continue to grow this channel and to continue to reach more and more of you with astrological insights and tarot goodies and goodness, and just, the beauty of this magical world in which it's not just the physical that we can see, hear, taste, and smell. There's so much more. And I always want to just give you that gift of feeling like you're touching beyond the veil and that you're reaching beyond something that is less tangible, but so soul nourishing and so soul affirming. So anyway, thank you so much. So I will start off with a quick little overview of this new moon. It happens at 5:54 Eastern Time today, p.m., and that is for most of us on Sunday. And adjust for your time zone, obviously, because that's East Coast time. And then it's also happening at the second degree of Libra. And new moons are always conjunct the sun, so what that means is they're right next to each other. And what's really cool is this particular lunation is right across from Jupiter. So anything happening today could be big, and probably over the course of this next cycle. The other thing that's really fascinating is that the nodes of the moon, the nodes of fate, are on a world point, which means that we may have a lot of world news coming out over the next week. And some of it can be a little bit concerning or a little bit overwhelming, but continue to stay in your center, continue to do the things you need to do. For a lot of us, I think this Mercury retrograde is challenging us in really powerful ways. Mercury has gone into Libra, and now it's back into Virgo. And of course, he's going to be done with the retrograde next week and then come back through the last degrees of Virgo and then into the early degrees of Libra. And finally, this retrograde will be over. Continue to try to work with it. Keep asking yourself what you can glean from this time. I think Mercury retrograde gets a lot of hate because it can really shake things up, and it can be really difficult. But the things that happen are to help us to grow and to help us to learn and to evolve. And Mercury retrograde comes to help us slow down. Slow the frick down. We've all been racing around like chickens with its head cut off over the last few months. And it's just a time to be more aware and to, if you can, to move more consciously, to notice the moments where there's stillness. There aren't a lot of them right now, but there are moments where, you're at that moment where you've taken a breath. There's that pause before you let your breath out again. And that happens within the rhythms of our life. That happens when we breathe. So watch for those rhythms. Watch for those places where you can notice the stillness and really soak it in. Soak in those moments of stillness because you need them right now. We've got Venus opposed Neptune right now as the moon is new as well, which can really be an anxiety producing element, as well as it can bring in really romantic and beautiful vibes, but it can also be very destabilizing in a way because it can kind of make illusions seem more real than reality. And so just be careful with yourself, move slowly, take care of yourself, do the things you need to do to take care of, any anxiety coming up or any more difficult emotions to navigate. Just be kind to yourself too. Don't try to push yourself or be like, what's wrong with you? Which is, sometimes my first MO. It's like, be kind to yourself as you move through this. This is an incredible new moon. And I really feel there's a kickoff in this new moon that is starting this amazing, like October has basically unprecedented astrology. It's going to be insane, and going into the eclipse season, and for those of us in the States, the election time, it's going to be a little gnarly, and I think just continuing to stay centered and stay grounded and do the things that you need to do to take care of you is going to be really helpful. And I think above all, I want to continue to encourage all of you. I know I do this often, but reach out as much as you can, as much as you have the energy to do that. Even just sending a little heart emoji to someone when you're thinking about them can be all the world, and it can be such a supportive gesture that won't take too much to do. But I think us staying connected through this time is so critical, so crucial. There's so much division, and there's so much within the energy right now that divides and creates more argument than it creates connection. So I think a good way to work consciously with the energies is to really, really work for that connection, both within yourself, being kind to yourself, not abandoning parts of yourself emotionally or energetically, and also not abandoning each other. You know, we are connected. We are a community. We are all connected. And I think the more we can affirm that, it's life affirming within you, and it's life affirming for the person receiving it. So keep doing that, my dear souls. I think it'll make such a difference. So all right, that's, I think, enough of the astrological, although I got a little bit more off into the weeds with it. But if you are looking to go deeper into this, I am going to offer one new moon reading, which I will link below. I am not doing a lot of reading right now just because I'm kind of pulling into my own process, but I will offer that, and I'll also link the deck I'm going to use next below. So check out those links below if you want to follow me on socials. That means so much to me. I'm going to go back to doing my daily readings on Instagram, which are a super fun way for you to stay connected to the astrological daily energy, as well as get a message that just supports you as you navigate these crazy, unprecedented times. So the deck I'm going to use today is this one, and it's the Madame Lydia Wilhelmina's Tarot, Monsters, the Macabre, and Autumn Scenes. It just felt so appropriate as we kind of step into, you know, Halloween season and season of Samhain. It's by Bethalynne, and I'm probably going to butcher her last name here, but Bajema, I think. Anyway, I'll link it below too, so if you want to check it out. She has had a lot of health struggles over the last year and doesn't always have decks in stock, but when she does, I would highly recommend this deck. It's really fun for working with the energy of the season, and it's a really special deck, and she's a really special person. She has such a quality and a beauty to her in her soul, and just, you know, the journey that she's navigated with her own health and wellness struggles, and still creating out of that place, and in fact creating amazing, beautiful art out of that place. So I'll link her Instagram too, because it's really worth following. It's really beautiful. So all right, so if you have followed this channel for a while, you know you can pick 1, 2, or 3. You can pick 2 of the cards. You can pick all 3 of the cards. You can pick now. You can pick after. Basically, trust your intuition to pick the card that is right for you. And the message you receive today, whether you're watching now on this new moon or sometime in the future, it will be absolutely perfect, and you will receive the message you need today. So all right, so we have the Knight of Swords for the first card. So those of you that pick this card, we see this woman riding this horse and this wild feeling, this airy, which really matches, you know, the retrograde energy, I think. The energy is kind of all over for those of you who have picked this card. And maybe you're feeling like you're kind of getting buffeted by the winds. You're getting kind of thrown this way and then that way, and it's really hard to focus. It's really hard to steer. It's really hard to know what to pay attention to. You might even be feeling a little overwhelmed with everything. And so the advice for you is to focus on the very next thing that you can do. And if there's something that you can push off till tomorrow, like you've got a crazy huge to-do list, maybe there's something that can wait just a day or two, push it off. Allow yourself to move as slowly as you can, as consciously as you can, to really stay grounded in this energy. And to know that you can do it. Just do one step at a time. You don't have to do anything more than the next minute. Try not to get into future fearing and this feeling of like, oh my gosh, look at this list and I have to do all this by next week. Well, next week isn't here yet. You're right here in this moment. And can you focus your energy right here and get done what you need to do, which will be the most helpful, and you will get through it. I feel the message for those of you that pick that card is you are going to get it done. There may even be something that gets lifted off your plate and you don't end up having to do after all. So just trust it's all going to work out. Do the very next thing that you can, and it will be perfect. Okay. Ah, fun one for those of you who chose the second card. We've got the Nine of Swords. And this is a pretty potent image. It's kind of like someone who's just like, I can't deal with this anymore. I'm just going to go to sleep. And the Nine of Swords can make you just feel that way, like, yeah, I can't deal with this. There's so much going on, and there's so much almost... Yeah, this card can come up around anxiety. This card can come up around, you know, basically your mind and your nervous system kind of feeling the pressure of everything that really is outward, but realizing that, you know, with it being a 9 card, there is that feeling of a bit of an illusion. So the pressures you're feeling might be more the pressure you're putting on yourself to get to somewhere or to get something done. So again, taking a deep breath. I feel like this card really comes up around keep breathing. I think one of the first things we do when we get stressed as a human being, or at least I do, you know, is I quit breathing as deeply, you know, or, you know, you just can't even catch yourself like holding your breath, you know. So keep breathing deeply, keep nourishing yourself, keep drinking water. And again, just realize that you will move through this. 9s are a card of endings. So whatever you're moving through, you are coming to the end of this incredibly intense time. It will get easier, and you will be able to move through it a little more gently than you have in the last few weeks, because it feels like those of you who picked this card the last few weeks have been a little bit intense. So remember, Mercury retrograde will end in about a week from now. So I think it's even like 6 days. I don't know the exact date, but it is coming to a close. So this is good. All right, the card. Oh, we got all swords cards today, everybody. My goodness. The mental energy is off the charts. Oh my goodness. And so this beautiful card, we see this woman. It's a really gorgeous Seven of Swords. I've never seen one quite like this, but it's like she's taking this mask off. And I want you to understand that when you pull this card or you choose this card, there really is a feeling of you are in some way denying yourself, your true authentic self. In some way you are doubting yourself. You're sitting there going, oh, I'm probably misreading that, or no, I don't have that right. No, this other person probably is right and I'm wrong. And I want you to know, dear one, if you picked this card, the message is that whatever you are feeling within you is right. You are reading the situation correctly. If there's some situation where you feel like someone isn't being totally above board, you're right. If there's some situation where you want to do something, but you're not sure that you have the capability or the time or the money, the message is you do. You have what you need to start to begin to go in this direction. So whatever situation this is coming up around, and you may not know right in this moment as you're listening to me, but over the next week, watch the places where you abandon yourself or you deny yourself or you try to push yourself away. And in those situations, realize, oh, I actually am seeing this clearly, or I am supposed to do this thing that I want to do. I had a friend once who drew this around becoming a mom, and she's like, I don't know what it means. And I'm like, I think that it means you're afraid you aren't good enough to be a mom. And she really wanted to be. And she was like, oh my goodness, spot on. That's it. I want to do this, but I feel like I don't have what it takes to be a good mom. So it is about believing in yourself and believing that you're good enough for whatever you want to do. If you want to switch jobs, or if you want to switch careers, or if you want to go a completely different direction, or start studying something that's always interested you and you don't know if you have the talent for it, doesn't matter. Just begin, because you do have it. This card says you do have it. So much swords energy. Take care of your mind, my dear people. Take care of your mental health. This is a very intense time, and we're already coming off of a very intense couple of years that have not been easy. So just really take care and nurture yourself. Do what it takes to nurture yourself, and do the simple things, breathing and drinking water. Number one, right? Number one things that we kind of tend to abandon in the middle of intensity. So thank you so much. I'm wishing you again just a beautiful, blessed, glorious new moon, and in hopes that it will just unfold in a lovely way for you over the course of this next season. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you all soon. Lots of love.